All right. Well, hello, everybody. I just wanted to do a quick intro of Unit 6. We're up to Unit 6 at this point. So I just wanted to do a quick Unit 6 intro so that we could be ready to get right into it and you could go through stuff with Mr. Morrissey. So let's do, I guess we'll do this. I brought this up. So Unit 6 is chromosomes, which are the structures that are your DNA. Replication, which is how your DNA makes copies of itself. Mutation, which is how changes happen in your DNA at random. And then also meiosis. We're going to talk about cell division purely for sexual reproduction. So the first section is going to be DNA replication. And mutation. So this is chapters 13.3 and 14.4. There is a DNA replication video, a mutation video. We're going to try to do a modeling activity, and then there's a mini lecture on mutation. Okay. Some of the choices you have for this section. There's a coloring sheet for DNA replication. This one's, again, it's shorter, and it's also basically just like a very similar DNA model to what was in the last coloring sheet and a paragraph description. There's an online activity about replicating DNA. There's actually two of them. One of them is a little more in-depth. That's the one that has lab in it. That's why it's 10 points. There's a mutation worksheet, which actually walks you through the process of mutation and how the changes are made. It'll actually review transcription and translation, which I think is good. And then there's textbook worksheets for 13.3 and 14.4. There is the simulating mutations activity. That's like a little activity we could do in class. And then there is a online activity for investigating point mutations. So those are your choices for this first section. As usual, you can see right here, we're still 35 points for this section. The second section of this is chromosomes, right? So your DNA is actually stored in these really long strands. That's just like one long DNA strand that sort of coalesce into these structures called chromosomes when your DNA is being split during meiosis or mitosis. And so that's why we talk about chromosomes, because it's a structure of DNA. So there is a video here for chromosomes. There is a online exploration of karyotypes, which is pretty cool. There is textbook worksheets for this section, so 15.2. There is an analysis project for karyotypes. That one's pretty cool. It's actually some fake karyotypes from a cow, and they all have different anomalies that you need to identify, and you would cut them out and lay them out together. If you're into doing a physical activity, that's a pretty good one. There's an online activity about the same genetic disorders. There's also a project where you could look up a real karyotype anomaly and sort of some of the things that it's caused. Obviously, the most common one that people talk about with that is Down syndrome, but there's others: Turner syndrome, Edwards syndrome. So there's a lot of options there if you're interested in that sort of thing. You can put together a pamphlet or a video or something. I'm very flexible about what it is actually that you can put together. There's also vocabulary for this unit. Pretty sure it's a concept map. It might just be the strips. There's always one where I have it written wrong and I can never remember which one it is. Finally, we have section 3, which is meiosis, cellular reproduction for sexual reproduction. So meiosis is when your cells make copies of themselves. However, they only do it for sexual reproduction. There's a different process for growth or repair or anything like that. Okay. So there's an online tutorial. This is actually not through the textbook. It's a different online activity. So if you hate the textbook but would like a little walkthrough, that's pretty decent. There is a Pearson Online, so something through the textbook that goes through the process of meiosis. There's textbook worksheets just for 12.4. There is a case study. This one's really interesting. It'll go into sort of the, what am I trying to say? Genetics that we'll be doing next unit, but it's actually about people who have children, hoping that they're a genetic match for offspring they might have who have a genetic disorder. So it's really a moral conundrum. So that one's kind of interesting. Then you also can make a flip book for meiosis, which is super interesting. I have like templates and stuff I can give you. It's 15 points because it's a lot of like drawing of chromosomes, but it's not bad. It's interesting if you're into that, and it really helps you see out all the steps. Okay, so those are the options for that. Next up, we need to talk a little bit about our schedule. So obviously yesterday we had no school. Today you're going to do your intro, even though you've already had access to the videos. Tomorrow is a day 7, and you're going to have an opportunity to do some work. Thursday we drop. It's a day 1. Friday it's a day 2. We will do something for replication. I'll talk to Mr. Morrissey specifically about what that is. Then Monday the 24th we reset the cycle back to day 1. So we're going to drop again. Then Tuesday, day 2, is going to be time for you to do some checklist work. Day 3, I will have a video for you about mutation to watch. And then day 4, a thing for meiosis. Maybe if we can figure it out, you can do like a manual thing with it in class. January 28th, Friday, is day 5. You're going to do some checklist work. Monday the 31st, you'll do review. February 2nd, we'll do the Komodo dragon case study. I am anticipating that I will be back around then, which is why I left this in. And then we will have wrap up and a test for Unit 6 by February 3rd. Okay. So yeah, that's your introduction for Unit 6. Hopefully that's okay.